Welcome and thanks for stopping by to take a look at Select Translation Service, STS, from Linguistic Systems in Cambridge, Massachusetts. I'm Bart Holliday, Account Manager with LSI, and we're looking at STS integrated into Relativity, document repository platform for discovery and other legal workflows. STS, as the name suggests, provides the user with a selection of translation output levels that are generated by a hybrid translation tool. It incorporates machine translation with some customizable functionality and human editing and translation. So let's go ahead and take a look. Pardon me. Linguistic Systems, LSI, is located just on the borders of the MIT campus. You can see the rotunda there in the background of this slide. LSI was founded in 1967. We're enjoying our 50th anniversary this year. At that time, back in 67, a NASA rocket scientist got together with a couple of patent attorneys from Harvard Law School down the street and founded a language service operation. One of the first big jobs was for a little razor company out of Boston called Gillette that had just picked up a German company through acquisition that was called Braun, two names we know well now, and 12,000 pages of discovery material in German had to get into English. That was a huge job back in those days. It would be pretty small for us today, but let's suffice it to say that discovery and legal translation work is in our DNA. We work in a wide array of languages. 120 are listed here. I know there's a story of doing hieroglyphics for the Museum of Natural History in New York City once, which is kind of funny, but we've seen a lot of things in 50 years. We're proud of our certifications, ISO certifications in service company quality, our process and project management, as well as translation quality with ISO 17100, and the third one here for data security, which is so important for our legal clients. We've worked for a lot of companies over the years, certainly many of them Fortune 100 and all of the AmLaw 100 as they change year by year. At the heart of an LSP, a language service provider, is its translator database, registered translators. We have over 7,500 of them in our database, and we look for those with advanced degrees, and 15% have doctoral degrees. You can see the numbers up here. Really, it's important that we have standards. We look for those high-performing folks with the advanced degrees, but we have a minimal credential requirement, 3 years working in the field and a 4-year university degree. You know, good language work really is a function of subject matter expertise. We'll talk about that even as it applies to a machine, but certainly with a human being. You know, language knowledge is the base, but it's the subject matter that makes all the difference for high performance. We're still getting tons of applicants every week, 50 a week, and only 10% of them can get through our test. Quality assurance and part of the ISO system requires that we're continuously reevaluating. The capabilities that we exhibit and work from in this regard, certainly the 6 levels of translation out of STS, the STS tool, to our machine translation, to involve human editing, and the final to our human translation. But we do work in other areas of discovery and legal translation that include foreign language document review. We do consulting and management and staffing for reviews, deposition interpreting, so important at that very key phase of discovery, and some of the other functions as listed here. Foreign language consulting with the legal department at the corporation or with the managing attorneys is so important to get going with any matter that's going to have a lot of foreign language documents. You know, language work is not a simple binary operation. You know, the translation is created and then you have it, 0, 1, 0, 1. That's not the way it goes with translation. As a patent translator myself, I know that I make several passes over the document during the time on which I'm working at it. And, when any one of those passes is finished, there is a measured degree of accuracy to the output I've created. Most of the time, I'm delivering a full human translation in my work, so those passes are of little value, except for me just to move on to the next phase. However, in discovery and this process of reduction, data reduction through search, analysis, and review, uh, somewhat semi-accurate versions of translation output can be put to work. How to put those to work at the right time, the right place, for the right amount of money, under the right time constraints is how we optimize. And we work with case teams to carry this out. The value we create through giving you effective language services through discovery and other legal workflow processes is that you're going to win more cases and you're going to win more clients, whether it's M&A, due diligence, or whatever the case may be where you're handling foreign language documents. If you can get through them better, cheaper, faster, then you're going to be of more value to your clients and you're going to attract more of them. If we can help you do that, we hope we can get some more business too. The 6 levels of translation are absolutely critical for our optimized system to work. We'll talk about that as we go along. There's a strategy we can deploy. We've had a lot of experience since 1967. We had 150,000 pages that we translated in a 6-week period for a Japanese M&A, second request investigation at one point. We've done some big jobs in our time. We've been doing it for a long time. And the system we've created is very efficient and secure, which is so important for what it is that you're doing. Here's a testimonial. We love when our clients give us a good testimonial, and it does happen all the time. Here's a good one. I like it down at the bottom. It's a winner. And I think you're going to agree with that. Let's look at the client list before we move on. Here's some of the names that we've worked with over time. Certainly the biggest, the brightest, and the best out in the corporate world have chosen us at one time or another to handle their language work. And we're proud of that. And we do what we can to be more of service. Most law firms and legal matters don't allow us to talk about them afterwards. But at any rate, let's end now about LSI and get into STS specifically and see what it is we do with the system. The next video will address that. Please proceed.